So, this past weekend I went on a bit of a road trip from my home near Ottawa, Ontario, about 4.5 hours west through Toronto to Milton, Ontario, to visit Foundry Supply Source, the only game in town as far as foundry suppliers up here, in this region anyway. Foundry Supply Source. It's well hidden in the Roadstar trucking building, apparently. Picking up ingredients to make some green sand for iron casting. The silica came in boxes. They're still got the old Smelco Foundry Products logo on it. Nice. So it's a collectible now, I guess. It's 56 grain fineness number silica, and John told me it was the shape of the grains is sub-rounded, although he said some people might argue and say they're sub-angular. In any case, it should be a fair bit coarser than the sand in the Petrobond that I've been using. Anyway, this is 500 pounds of sand, and I'm very grateful that John put it in these boxes for me, or maybe he left it in these boxes for me rather than a 500-pound cardboard barrel that I would have to figure out how to get out of my van. Silica, 50 pounds of sodium bentonite, 50 pounds of calcium bentonite. I'm not going to open these up in the house. It's a bag of Western, aka sodium bentonite, and a bag of Southern, aka calcium bentonite. These are the binders. 50 pounds of sea coal. This one's staying in the front porch. And a 16-pound bag of shiny rocks known as ferrosilicon. These are the expensive shiny rocks. 75% ferrosilicon. When you melt cast iron, the castings you make might turn out to be super hard and unmachinable. You add a little bit of this just before you pour, and it helps you end up getting nice machinable cast iron if that's what you're after. Anyway, it was awesome. The guy there who deals with customers, I'll take a shot at it. I think his last name is Papayulu, something like that. Put it on the screen so I didn't butcher it too bad. Really nice guy, very helpful. He knows his stuff. He knows all about the foundry business and all the stuff. Really cool. He showed me all around. So it's a Petrobond, lying around. Every size of crucible you can imagine. I saw everything from like a 3 to a 300 pounder. Got a whole trunk full of slicks and spoons and tools. Got myself like a tinted face shield. I don't want to open up and get it scuffed up, but it's supposed to. It's not the really expensive gold one, but it's like the light gold. It looks green to me. Not as expensive, and supposedly it'll help a little bit to preserve my eyesight. I've got a dark shade, just like dark sunglasses looking face shields too, so we'll figure it out. Talk to him about some PPE and stuff I might look into later. Show me some real nice mitts that my friend Josh had told him to try and sell me. Yeah, all in all, it was really great to see the place. It used to be Smelco Foundry Products. When I went there in 2015 and met the owner, Tim Smelco, it was, they had a lot of the same gear and equipment and all that. They sell the same products, but he retired and sold the business, and they moved up the road to a different location in Milton, which is, I guess, is smaller now, so they got a lot of their stuff in trucks. A million chaplets. They showed me all the different sizes they have. This, that, and other thing. Bubblers for argon. anything you've ever heard of, and a million things you never did. Really cool, and he took over an hour. It was sort of a busy day to show me around, knowing full well that I'm a hobbyist.
That's the molding sand there. You can see how it is.
Okay, yeah.
But when you ram it 3 times, it packs in like that.
This is a sand sample?
That's that sample.
That's really hard.
Yeah.
Wow, feels like a core.
Yeah.
This is the machine that they use to make these sand samples. Just crushes it down into a little tube or something, I guess, eh? Very cool.
It's a 401 machine.
401 machine.
400, sorry.
400 machine.
One.
What does it do?
Up here is for green strengths
Okay.
and dry strengths. This one shears the individual in half.
Okay, so it's for testing
Molding sands.
molding sand.
You make 2x2 specimens and put them in and break it. That's a pyrometer.
Pyrometer.
Yeah.
Oh, test the permeability.
Yep.
Cool.
And this is a furnace. It's off right now, but it goes up to 1800 Fahrenheit. I keep it at
Yeah.
to do my LOIs and
LOI?
yeah, Lawson ignition.
Okay.
And then also on certain ones I do volatiles. So the first 7 minutes I put it in for 7 and take it out and let it cool and see how much burns off. That's basically when you pour your metal, how much burned out.
Okay.
And that's a drying oven. So I'll make my 2x2 specimens, dry them for 2 hours, and then pull them out, and then do the.
Then do the test, eh?
Yeah. And then this is what we put it through to screen it. This is just a little drying oven to make it quick. This is scaled to 4 decimal points.
Screens, eh?
Yeah. I got 2 sets.
Wow.
And then I do AFS clay flush here, where it'll flush for about 3 to 5 hours, depending on the sample, and you're removing anything that's smaller than 25 microns.
Okay.
So when you start the sample, it's black, and then when it's done, it fills up, and then within about 30 seconds to a minute, it's already clear as water.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's what you want. You want all the fines out of there.
Cool.
So that's basically your bentonite, clay, carbons, anything that's small. Even measures temperature, and that's for doing metal and blue or active clay in your molding sand.
Wow. Okay. This is really interesting.
And that's
This
an
is stuff that
ultrasonic cleaner.
Most of us hobbyists never see anything like this.
And even the foundries, I'll say 80% of them haven't got one of these apparatuses in their foundry.
They just get you to do it all, eh?
Yeah. The guys usually, if you got a good molder, he'll feel it, squeeze it in his hand, and he'll know if
You'll
it's
know
good
if it's
or not.
good, eh? Yeah.
Yeah.
No. It's handled enough sand to know, I guess, eh?
Yeah.
Wow. Very cool. Thank you for letting me film.
I can sell you that one we have.
Yeah. I just think pictures of all this cool stuff. Alright. It's really awesome that there's a place like that who will deal with guys like me and guys like I'm sure most of you watching this are. They do ship all over the world, so I'll put John's contact in the description below if anybody's looking to get any of this kind of stuff. Yeah, after that, turn around, head back east. I stopped in Brampton at Josh's place. The same one who tried to get John to sell me a pair of $100 gloves. They're real nice gloves. But Josh runs a business called J4 Labs, I think. He makes all kinds of different stuff. He's got a bunch of machines in his shop there. And does a little bit of casting too. Get your mill here. Yeah. Cool.
So I just got Path Pilot and some MESA cards, or MESA, or however you want to call it. So I want to upgrade it to that.
Yeah.
It's running on Mach 3 now. Do you do CNC milling or no?
I don't do any machining. I use a drill press. That's about it. I gotta.
Would you know what it was? I got this from a school auction.
Oh yeah. Nice.
So this is some of the stuff they were doing. Obviously, it's backwards, but
if they're forwards to me.
No, but if they're making, yeah. And I turned it into making some. This is for an exhibit I did.
Cool.
So they were areas of Toronto.
Yeah. Okay.
These are the scrap, and it's like, yeah, it's like Kensington Market or something. It's for a design show I did.
Interesting.
Here's my robot.
Robot. It's always good to have robots.
You said plural.
Well.
Robots. So the other one's over here.
Okay.
This is more operational than the other one.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is this like a welding robot?
Yeah. Yeah. I want to hook it up to, maybe do some grinding or sanding or something.
That's really cool.
These are my drill presses.
Yeah.
This one I got a VFD. I still haven't put it in. It's from the guy from Oshawa. I forget what his name was.
Oshawa.
Matt?
So this is your casting here,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
A little light. That's really cool.
Here,
Hefty.
fire them up. I didn't know you were filming. I would have cleaned up. Where's the other ones? Yeah. I was just playing with some 3000. That's 3000K. This was 2700. I think I prefer the 2700.
Oh, that's neat though.
Yeah, so these are nautical inspired. I'm a sailor. So this is a sailing line.
Okay.
This one's actually out of recycled door frames.
Wow.
Door jams. I had to tell a story, so it's the story. This was this is tin and copper pipe.
Oh wow. Okay.
From it was for it was for a building exposition about how we can reuse materials.
Okay.
So this is Josh, you work in metal. I'm like, I'm a metal maker now. Like, okay, fine. I cast, so yeah, I did that. This was some handles.
Really cool.
I did for a kitchen.
Yeah.
This is another one here. A little more polished. My son's into leather working, so he made me some cases for it.
Oh. Very nice.
I did a handle set.
Oh wow. That's cool. That's
Yeah. In process, I need the spring.
yeah.
Um,
Really cool. Got some.
That was actually part of a shower. The rest of the parts over there. This was another lamp. These go in here, and when I power them on, I think I can do this. Take this over. So. Lucky it'll work. It fell over, so this goes in here like this.
Oh, you know what? I saw pictures of this on your Instagram.
Yeah.
You just stick.
It's gonna work now. it was a prototype, and then I was gonna do it out of bronze with the copper.
That's a really neat idea.
Yeah, and then I was trying to figure out how to get this, and then right after I did this, I actually got a whole bunch of machinist equipment, and I have the little pogo pins. The little.
Okay.
They're,
I just said, oh, like I knew you were talking about it,
if
but I really don't.
If I ever lose my mind, I'm screwed because I'll never find anything.
Yeah, well, I'm familiar with trying to work in a messy. Okay.
So that'll go down,
Oh, okay.
and then it'll give
And
good
it'll make the
contact for sure,
contact
yeah.
there. Neat.
I figure out some boxes that I can sell and demonstrate the lights in.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you've ever been to A1 Electronics in Toronto.
No.
So that I picked that box up there. There's a bunch of everything.
Whatever it is, it looks cool.
Yeah. So I bought all this stuff. All the here's a full back
Okay.
sliding door. Actually did.
If I end the camera.
Back side of it. Prototypes. So I did
Some cool products in development here, eh?
yeah, a few.
That's awesome.
So this is the pyrometer you use, right?
It's
You ever seen this one?
oh my goodness.
Optical.
I've heard of them, but I haven't seen them.
So I don't have I didn't put batteries in this. So supposedly you look through it,
Yeah.
and then you adjust this until they match.
Okay.
And when they match, it'll read.
When they
temperature.
match, what are you trying to match?
Like,
just like the
Supposedly
whatever
I think it has a filament in there,
Okay.
and it heats up to a certain temperature that's known.
Okay, based on the setting you have
Right.
on here.
So I guess you adjust the temperature or the brightness of the filament
Okay.
to match the other.
To match what you're seeing with the
one.
other
With
eye.
in the other one optically.
Wow.
So I haven't fired it up yet, but I mean, can you?
So it's
imagine,
like just going by
walking around-
color, but
Yeah.
with this with the
But
scientific approach
calibrated
to it.
color. Can you imagine wearing?
Oh, you wear this thing, eh?
Yeah. Well, this is
That's
the
cool.
box. This is the. I got it for the box. I mean, look at, this is like Louis Vuitton.
Oh, you just want the
right?
box?
I got it for the box.
Okay, well, I take this one for it's just taking up space in your shop.
Yeah, really. Yes,
Oh,
you
there.
see, there's a
Good
guy
one.
wearing it.
Uh,
Yeah, isn't that funny?
that's really cool.
The parts catalog.
I love these old gizmos.
Yeah. I think this one's hilarious.
That's amazing, eh?
Northrop. Leeds in Northrop.
Leeds and Northrop.
Yeah.
Keep them in mind.
I think they went with Grumman after a while. Northrop Grumman and
Leeds and Northrop.
yeah.
That's what it says on here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't forget, that's unit 131. So.
Unit 131. If anyone's missing their unit,
I was gonna post this one on the forum.
cool old hacksaw. eh?
Excalibur. Yeah.
Yeah.
Power hacksaw, but
Cool.
I offered you a copy and didn't make you one.
Oh well. According to Josh, this is the stuff for smoothing out your 3D prints. Dynapatch Pro, Home Depot. We did not get to visit his foundry because I was running a little late and I had to get going to my next stop before the ice storm hit us. It's a little bit of a mess on the highway. So unfortunately, yeah, I didn't get to see his furnace and his casting setup, but I did get to see some of his castings and where he works on his products and various different things. I guess he makes stuff for people's homes and kind of high end, but handmade. See them in someone's house and think, wow, that's something that someone went a little extra mile for. You know? Josh also hooked me up with some nice chunks of steel for when I'm going to be building some tongs soon, and an extra set of aluminized spats with chaps built in. It's pretty nice. I've got something similar, but it's always good to have extra. And I don't think mine are chaps and spats in one. They're both separate. Nice to have. This is what the inside looks like. Trying to figure out what that says. Is it Nentex True Mirror? As best as I can figure out. It's pretty good. Seems fairly durable too compared to some of the stuff I've seen. Pretty cool. After that, it was on to my my 3-night board game Airbnb weekend with some old friends. Which never happened there. I was gonna stay there. Sorry, guys. And then on the way home, stopped in Sydenham, Ontario, to visit my friend Doug, who you saw the crucibles he traded me. Same guy. He's working on a 1/8 scale steam locomotive in his backyard and basement. He's got cast iron all figured out. At least largely figured out. He's got K-bond sand figured out. He managed to get a bag of binder, so that was fun. I got to see his furnace, although I didn't get any footage of it. Showed me a bunch of his patterns and castings, and that was really awesome. Yeah.
Where's the one with the pins on it? Okay.
So what is this part?
This is a motion link pin support. It's called.
Cool.
So I looked at making this, like building it up out of wood, but it's really complicated.
Yeah.
And then I read the guy did it this way, but it's easier to mill out the slots
Okay.
than to build it.
Right.
And then it's just kind of rounding these, which I could do on the mill, or I just did it with a chisel.
And then this is a
Gotcha.
mold that you pour
Fiberglass.
fiberglass. Okay. Just
So that's
epoxy.
fiberglass that fits. Now, obviously, I broke up the wax getting the thing out, but you know, then I made the fiberglass pattern,
Oh, that's-
and then that's the finished and machined with the right treads and the bore and keyways and stuff.
oh,
And that's iron,
cast iron.
cast iron. This is heavier than the fiberglass.
No doubt.
So now these I chickened out and had it cast at a foundry because
No.
that's way more iron than I wanted to be slinging around.
Yeah, I get that.
So, and that's, you can buy kits that do this sort of thing, but you get like 6 wheels that are all the same.
Right.
But on the full-size one, the middle wheel was heavier because it had more drive rods and more weight on it. So
Right.
a bigger counterweight, a bigger hub, because it's taking all the pressure. So I have them. I
You do
did
it right.
because I could, right?
Yeah.
And this
For sure.
stuff, machinable wax, and I was shopping for a piece to be big enough to do that. $700
Jeez.
plate, big enough
Okay.
to do
Bigger.
that.
Not just this though.
So this was, I bought some paraffin wax, which is just a long chain hydrocarbon, and polyethylene is also a very long chain.
Oh, the old
hydrocarbon.
melt shopping bags in your paraffin
wax.
wax to make your own.
Yeah,
Yeah, I remember reading about that on the forums years ago.
and it works great. Now,
Oh,
this
cool.
has got some bubbles and stuff in it,
Too bad there's no more shopping bags.
and it looks very uniform because I used it a couple of times.
Okay.
The first time through, there was a little, you could see little bits of polyethylene
Okay. So
in it.
yeah, it gets
It
mixed
still worked
better when you
fine.
melt it again and again, I guess. Eh?
Still worked fine, but
Yeah.
with more use, it got more uniform.
Well, that's good to know.
So, but it worked great. The stuff, like you can see, it takes a sharp edge. It's strong. It's the wax and polyethylene.
Right.
There you see little bits of shopping bag
Yeah.
left, but that never hurt anything. Even though it. And then to cut the spokes, I just took a spade bit and ground it to the right profile.
Okay.
And this was done on the mill, so
Uh huh.
you see how they're thicker here. Than
Yeah.
So I tip it up
Yeah.
so it cuts deeper here than there.
That's just the shape of this slot, right?
And the shape of the slot I ground on the spade bit, and it's wax, right? It just it doesn't
Won't be
it's not
too hard to cut. Yeah,
So it was
that's a good idea.
yeah. And these are just samples I take for shows of aluminum and bronze and iron.
Okay. Yeah.
This is the rear wheel, and
You did it the same way with the mold like that?
no,
Oh no, this looks like it's wood.
3D printed.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, and I made a mistake in that it doesn't have a flat back,
Oh,
and so I should have done this as two-part, and it had a weird. The original has a weird parting line because the tread actually goes this way.
oh, okay.
So I have to machine off a whole lot of it. But, and this was fussy to do, but there's the casting from it. And
That looks
it
good.
comes
Looks
out.
alright, eh?
Yeah. A little disturbed about some of the hollow there, but
Yeah, I wonder if that goes.
even
think
if it
it
does,
does.
it'll be good enough. But it looks pretty decent.
Yeah.
And this is just another wheel for
Bits and pieces.
like a freight car wheel. That's another one. I don't know what happened here,
Little,
but anyway, that'll machine out. I do have a lot of trouble pouring iron. There's always chunks of slag go down, and
I guess you gotta watch out for that.
I do. So the guy at Merrickville,
Okay. Yeah. The alloy foundry, or
yeah,
Yeah.
He shut down.
yeah, I heard that he wasn't. It was still there, but he's not running it right now. Eh?
I think the shop's closed too.
Oh, yeah?
It's dark when you buy it. But he gave me, see the camera guy in
Oh, the filters.
the filters, and I bought some
Okay.
smaller ones, but I've never got the iron to go through the filter.
Oh,
Kind of just plugs up. So I don't know, maybe not hot enough, or and I don't really know how you put the filter in the mold.
yeah. I
Without
know
it just
that's
falling out.
people. It's supposed to be a filter, but I know some people use them just to slow the metal down, and I've never messed with them at all. But I've seen it where they have, like, at the bottom of the sprue, there'll be like a print where the filter would fit.
But if it's at the bottom of the sprue, then it'll fall out. Or do you put it on the cope?
on the cope or on the drag, like somewhere.
Sorry, cope is top on the drag. Do you put it on the?
I
Do you
guess.
put it down and put the mold on top,
I guess.
or do you put it in the mold?
Well, then you'd have to close it upside down and flip it over, I guess. But
And
I would
then
put,
it
I would
falls
put it in
out.
the bottom so that you wouldn't have to worry about that.
Yeah. So
But I haven't used them, so
I haven't either. So I'm not sure.
yeah.
But
I don't know if they come in different, pore sizes or.
I'm
Coarseness.
sure they do, and
Yeah.
I'm guessing those are much bigger than I'll ever use. But there's half a dozen of those if you want to try them out.
Cool. Yeah, maybe I will.
Um,
These look like they just fit right between the two halves of the mold.
yeah.
What is it made of? Some kind of.
I don't know, but it takes iron temperatures, so that limits the number of things that can be made out
Sure,
of.
but they're interesting.
So this was a core
Okay.
for that wheel,
Oh yeah.
and it's the sodium silicate binder.
Yeah.
This
They use a core to do that, eh?
yeah, this gap between the spokes, I couldn't
Be a little,
mold it
a little
without,
tricky to pull
pulling
the
out.
pattern, eh? Unless
and
it's
I
super
didn't have a
smooth.
two-part mold,
Right. Okay.
which was hurting me.
Hmm.
But Have you used the sodium silicate?
Yeah, sometimes. I haven't, I've only done a few things with the things I've done with cores are those axe heads that I made. But other than that, I haven't done stuff with cores, just those.
So it, I was actually shocked. I thought, okay, we'll try this, and then I'll know what we did wrong, and the next time it'll be better. And after 3 or 4 attempts, I'm sure I can get it. And
So this was used, and it's still that intact. Okay, it wasn't used.
Because I make up a half a dozen of them because I know I'm going to screw up.
Okay, I figured I'd be surprised if it held up that well.
Yeah. No,
you don't expect them to be reusable at all.
There isn't too much that stands up, but
Locomotive cylinder, cast iron liners,
and so you can see there's ports here, but then the liner there's parts machined in to redirect the steam around.
Cool.
And there's holes here on the top side. That's where the steam
yeah.
So this is a power cylinder where the piston is and drives the drive rod, makes wheels go round and round.
Right.
This is a valve. Okay, so steam comes in here. There's a 2-headed valve in here.
Pushes it one way then the other.
Yeah, so it's a double acting piston.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I got these all machined up, nice snug fit, ready to go. I just had to cut them to length, and I got these all nice, just perfect. Tiny bit proud of the cylinder so it seals properly. Cut one of these 1/2 inch too short. So rather than cast a new one, there's a shop in Kingston that rebuilds like big engines, diesels, and,
Okay.
Caterpillar and stuff. And they could get a liner that was almost the right shape. I just had to machine it a little bit, and it fit. And then I took it back to them to hone them, get them perfectly smooth and symmetric and so on. And they got 3 of them done, and press them in because I don't have means of pressing. So they got 3 of them done, and then they dropped it.
Oh, jeez. Oh, man.
So,
ouch.
So now I gotta redo that.
Jeez, that's fun.
Yeah, but even here you can see there's some not
something going
quite
on
right
there,
stuff
right?
in the casting.
Huh.
And I think this was cast at Merrickville because hadn't done it. Probably the last casting he did. Yeah.
Wow.
But again, I tried this a bunch of times, and every time some slag goes down. Now I got a bare spot, open.
Yeah, or
I
something.
can't machine it. It's gonna leak. It's this. It's that.
Yeah.
So said, let's go get somebody. But he's got shut down. The wheels I had cast at the foundry in Grimsby.
Okay. Which one is that?
Lake.
Okay.
Foundry. It's right by the Queenie.
Yeah.
Big sign
Heard
out
of
front.
it.
No job too big or too small.
Okay.
Changed hands. Now there's jobs that are too small.
Well. Oh well. It's too bad, eh?
Yeah. So, but on the lead truck.
It's okay, right? There's some little parts up here too, eh?
And then these wheels are for something else. And that's the other thing I wanted to do is cast more than one at a time. But every time I do, I screw up both of them.
Doug and his wife fed me a really nice lunch before sending me on my way too. If you're watching this, I just want to thank you both again for your hospitality. It was great to see your patterns and castings. Your whole workshop, really. I didn't even show anything of your telescopes or. Anyway, don't forget to let me know next time you're going to be in town, and I'll set you up with some of that propylene carbonate. Josh too. Thanks for the tour and the tongs parts and everything. I know I put you on the spot when I pulled out my camera like that, but you're a good sport about letting me give the internet weirdos a little glimpse into your world. I know I was kind of inspired by seeing the the products are coming up with there, and I think other people will be too. Never thought I'd have pyrometer envy. I guess while I'm at it, I can't forget to thank John P. from Foundry Supply Source, just for taking the time to work with hobbyists and small-time backyard foundry people like me, and for setting me up with my green sand supplies. It was a real treat to see the sand lab gear. I've never seen anything like that stuff, and I don't think any of my viewers here have either, so that was really appreciate that. You could tell that John loves all this stuff as much as any of us hobbyists. It was cool to kind of geek out with him over it all. On this last leg of my journey home, I decided to take the scenic route on the way back, on the back roads, rather than take Highway 401 with the rest of the lemmings, which was great because this took me through Merrickville and right past the historic alloy foundry. Looks like Doug was right, though. The rumors are true. After being in business continuously since 1840, Canada's oldest running foundry has indeed, from what I could tell, closed its doors. Sad. Doug didn't send me away empty-handed either. Here's the tub of Bentone 34 that Doug gave me. I'm not sure what that refers to, but it's, it doesn't say the size of it on it, but it's, it's a big tub and it's full of special magic dirt. You know about K-bond sand, right? It's basically homemade Petrobond. That's what I'm after. I got a whole barrel of 130 mesh olivine waiting for it. This is not enough clay to make that much sand. So that was awesome. Here's a sample of Doug's K-bond sand that he sent home with me. He said he wound up with too much. He gave me a little tub of Bentone 34 too, so I'm gonna try making some of my own. Well, technically some more of my own. I had some VG Plus a while ago. He gave me a little bit more of the real Bentone 34, so I'm very grateful to Doug for that. He traded me a couple scoops of my shiny metal rocks for a little tub of his fancy dirt, and I think we both ended up happy.